Hello there. This is Donna Denson, the dynamic diabetic, coming to you today with the Diabetic Minute for everyone who wants to get and stay healthy. And today I continue my practice of helping your heart stay healthy by feeling good. It is Feel Good Friday. And I love telling you stories that I found about heroes and animals and things that just make us feel good, okay? And this first one I'm especially happy to tell you about because today we hear so many negative things about our police force. And this is a very positive story about a policeman, and I want us to remember that there are those. This is about Deputy Jay Holt. He's in Gloucester, Virginia, my state, so I love it. And he came upon an accident, and the car was overturned. This video has been out, so you may have seen it. Interesting that his body cam caught all this. But there was a child that was in great distress watching his mom, who was trapped underneath this overturned car. So the officer went over and he tried to lift the car, and you can hear him saying, "I can't do it, I can't do it." And then all of a sudden you hear this huge strain from him, amazing effort. And he was able to lift that car just enough for her to get herself clear. Now that woman may have died because she was not able to breathe well when she was trapped. But his sheer willpower, that's all it was. It wasn't strength. It was sheer willpower that allowed him to lift that car and save that woman's life. And I also want to mention that just 3 months ago, he got a Top Cop Award because he saved 2 people from a burning building. This is definitely one of our heroes. We want to remember him. We want to be thankful for those heroes among us, right? And then my second story takes place in Maryland, not too far away. Truck driver, Jonathan Bauer, he and his daughter were traveling on an interstate, and there was an accident. They were on the fringe of this accident. So once he made sure his daughter was okay, he got out to see if he could help anybody. There were 5 or 6 vehicles involved and a truck barely hanging on to the guardrail. And as he got close, thinking, how could he help this person, they yelled, "The baby." And what had happened is there was a toddler in the car seat in the back. And when the accident happened, the door flew open and the baby and the car seat flew into the bay. They were on the bridge. And Jonathan is not a fan of heights. He's deathly afraid of them. But when he looked over, he saw the car seat, and then he saw this toddler with her little pink dress floating in the water. And she was floating, and he thought, okay. So he looked around to see if there were any boats that might help her. There were not any close enough. And when he turned back to look at her, she had rolled over, and he knew she would be in great distress. Kicked his shoes off, jumped the almost 40 feet into the water, came up okay. He was thankful for that, was able to swim to the baby, put her over his shoulder and banged on her back until she started coughing, and he knew she'd be all right. And then by that time, a boat had come close enough to come help him. The child survived, and it was awesome. He tried to hide his identity. He kind of slipped away, but people found him. He had to take the praise that he was due for such a valiant effort. Isn't that nice? That's 2 really nice stories of heroes among us. We have to remember they're there. We have to appreciate them so much. And then my last story is just feel good. Just feel good. This is my animal story for this week. In Eisenhower Elementary School, which is in Minnesota, about 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, before Ike was president, I think, they, in this school, had a closed courtyard, and a mallard duck, mama flew in, made her nest in that courtyard. She hatched her ducklings, and then realized they couldn't fly and the courtyard wasn't closed. She couldn't get to the pond that was on the other side of the school. Well, somebody finally thought and opened the door on her side of the school that led to the hall that would go all the way across to the other side and out the door to the pond. This mallard duck figured it out, followed the path, got her babies into the pond. Now that was over 20 years ago, and every year they have ducklings and the mama leads them through the school to the pond. This year, actually, after the first mama and her babies made it safely through to the pond, they had a second duck lay eggs, and her babies made it safely to the pond, and now they have a third nesting. So this is definitely a learned behavior, and it's passed on, and it's wonderful. So now there's a couple that have written a children's book, and the proceeds from that book help to keep the courtyard up to make sure that these ducks will always be able to get to the water. How cool is that? How cool is that? And I saw some video of the kids all line the hall when the mama walks through, and they respectfully keep their distance and just ooh and ah. But can you imagine 20 years? Isn't that awesome? So today you know about our heroes, and you can feel good about those ducks and how nature works, that they retain that knowledge and come back year after year. That's wonderful. I hope you enjoyed that today. I did. I hope you will share those stories. I hope you'll subscribe wherever you're listening. I hope I found you safe. I hope I found you well. And I especially hope today I found you happy. This is Donna Denson, the Dynamic Diabetic. May God bless and keep you until we connect again. Have a terrific weekend here in the U.S. It is Memorial Day weekend. Remember and enjoy. Bye-bye.